The Language of Ghosts by Heather Fawcett. I am very, very enthusiastic about this book. I think that tons of you will be clamoring to get it off the shelves. It's a magical story. It's set in a magical land, but the characters are really realistic. So it's kind of reminiscent of, say, Harry Potter. And there's magical languages and there are assassins. It's very exciting. So I'll just read you the back cover quickly and just a little bit of the prologue. So often authors want to sort of set the scene before they really get into their story, and that's called the prologue. It's kind of like the pre-story. So I'll read you just a snippet of the prologue, and I'm sure this is going to be off the shelves constantly. It looks amazing. So, forced into exile on an enchanted island, a moving island, ex-Princess Noah Marchena has two missions: reclaim her family's stolen throne and ensure that the dark powers her older brother Julian possesses don't go to his head in the process. But between babysitting her annoying little sister Mite and keeping an eye on the cake-loving sea monster that guards the island, Noah has her hands full. When the siblings learn that their enemies are searching for a weapon capable of defeating Julian, whose legendary spell weaving is feared throughout the kingdom, once and for all they vow to get to it first. To everyone's surprise, the key to their victory turns out to be a long lost magical language. And only Noah can speak it. But what if by helping her brother, Noah ends up losing him? Bum, bum, bum. So here is just a snippet of the prologue. So the prologue is sort of the pre-story. It was the raspberry sundae that did it. Noah stormed across the banquet hall, dodging guests and servants. Princess Noah? More than one voice called after her. She bumped into a man carrying a tray laden with frozen guava. As he fell, the tray rose in the air in a spectacular arc, spraying horrified courtiers with ice shavings like pink snowflakes. Noah didn't care. She ran up the black marble staircase, eyes blurring with tears, mouth aching from holding a stiff, calm, princess-like line. If she had to listen to one more courtier tell her how sorry they were that her mother had passed on or slipped away. As if Mom were a tricky spy escaping into the night, Noah was going to throw up all over her horrible funeral-appropriate dress. Her brother Julian, soon to be crowned King Julian, didn't see her leave. The staircase wound around and around, offering a view of the courtyard at every turn. The royal palace's architecture was typical, Florian, with large, airy galleries built around a central garden teeming with cacti and vine leaves and lavawort. Normally Noah stopped and said hello to the finches that liked to perch on the staircase railing. But now there was a storm inside her, and she kept running until she got to her bedroom. There was nothing particularly princess-like about Noah's room. No chests filled with jewels or fantastical chandeliers. It was a messy, in an organized way, piled with books and logic puzzles and model ships. She wasn't interested in ships, but she liked taking things apart so she could study them and improve the design. Reckoner, her brother's ancient dragon, was sprawled across the polished floor like a fat, spotty rug. Reckoner disliked Noah, although he disliked her less than he disliked most other people, probably making strategic allowance for the fact that her room had the best afternoon and evening sunbeams. So Noah went straight to the wardrobe, locked herself in, and collapsed in a heap of sobs and scattered dresses and coats. Her mother, the Queen of Florian, had been dead for a week. It was weird that this was the first time that Noah had cried. It hadn't happened when Julian had told her, or the first time she'd walked past her mother's empty bedroom. No, it had been the sight of that towering raspberry sundae. A sundae so magnificent that it took 3 servants to carry it out, piled with cream and chocolate and butternuts and raspberries as fat as chickadees. Her mother had loved raspberry sundaes, and Noah had turned instinctively to catch the look of astounded delight. And that is when she understood. Noah stayed in the wardrobe until she thought the funeral guests had all left. Then she stayed a little longer, for good measure. One of her mother's cats came in and meowed at the door in order to point out how difficult he was to fool. After a while, he got tired of bragging and went up to nap in the sun with Reckoner. Noah's mother had loved cats and had accumulated 16 of them over the years. She probably would have reached 20 if. Eventually, Noah ran out of tears. She occupied herself cataloging by size and shape the dust motes dancing in the light through the wardrobe. Noah froze. Her bedroom door opened and 2 assassins stepped in.